Does Valentina Shevchenko still have what it takes to defend the throne? Let's talk about it. What's up, everybody? I am joined by Dean Thomas, looking fly in some random basement in Pennsylvania. Did they let you in or did you break in?
I don't even know whose house this is.
I believe that. I actually believe that. I really do. But
I
we're going to
just, I just,
podcast from,
I saw they had a Wi-Fi hookup. I was like, yo, I got to do the show.
yeah, you just called in on the any
So we
minute.
got to hurry up before they come home.
All right, we'll make this relatively quick. We're going to talk about the UFC 315 co-main event between Valentina Shevchenko and Manon Fiorot. I'm only going to say it like that one more time. Fiorot. Um, the champ is back. The champ is back. Valentina Shevchenko came surging back in her last fight against Alexa Grasso. The trilogy is finally complete. It's over. I can't imagine how excited Valentina Shevchenko is to not be talking about Alexa Grasso. And in the meantime, Manon Fior, oh, I can't do that. Manon Fior.
Manon Fiorot. This is, what I'm saying. We don't got to get all crazy with
We
it.
don't. We don't. Fior. Manon Fior has been absolutely surging, undefeated in the UFC. That's a rarity, especially in, I mean, it's a rarity anywhere, but it's even more impressive to me in this division because there's so much parity in women's MMA. There's just so much parity. Even when you are technically better, you can a lot of times lose based on athleticism. That's a whole other talking point. Anyway, Manon Fior has looked sensational, 7-0 in the UFC. She is 12-1 overall. Had a great fight last time out against Erin Blanchfield. Dean, I'll give you the floor. Just your general thoughts on this matchup. What do you see here?
I'm really happy for Manon Fiorot. I've watched her get into the UFC and just do a lot of damage and remain relatively quiet and just let her hands and feet speak for itself. I've watched her fight even before she was in the UFC. I watched her on a reality show in South Africa in which she won and was the champion of that.
What?
So she's been around on my radar for quite a while now. She's massive for the division. She's really strong, very stubborn in the way that she fights. She won't let you get off. But we're talking about Valentina Shevchenko.
Yeah.
She's one of the greatest women fighters that we've ever seen. She's the champ for a reason. She got it back. My question for Valentina is this: what does she have left
Yeah.
in terms of motivation? And I think that is going to determine the outcome of this fight. There's no question in my mind that I think that the better martial artist between the two is Valentina Shevchenko. But Manon Fiorot is hungry. She's never been in this spot before. She's never, and now she has a unique opportunity to be a UFC champion and represent a country that's never had a UFC champion. It's a big spot for her, and I know she knows what's at stake. For Valentina, she's done it all. I mean, she fought Amanda Nunes twice. She flatlined Jessica Eye. She's beaten Joanna. Like, she's done it all.
Seven title defenses. This is her 12th title fight in a row.
Yes, and when you think about this, and this is my biggest question: what does she have left? And the reason why is because she was so determined to get the title back from Alexa Grasso. She had to fight her 3 times and finally got it back. What do you have left? What is there left? I don't know, and I'm questioning how that affects her motivation to perform on Saturday night.
Are you questioning it because she is 37 or because she has had so much time at the top?
All of it.
Yeah.
All of it. Like being 37 and then just having done so much. When I retired, I could have came back. So my whole thing was this. I fought Georgie Karakhanyan in Legacy, which is now LFA. And Sean Shelby said, "You win," because I was on a run. I won like 4 in a row. And Sean Shelby said, "You win this fight, we'll bring you back." I said, "Cool." I went out, didn't have no motivation. I lost the fight. And I probably could have fought more. But I said, what's the motivation?
Yeah.
I fought everybody. I
You,
fought 4 guys that are in the UFC's Hall of Fame.
yeah.
I'm not going back to fighting these. And Valentina's done that. She's fought everybody. So this for her, like, what is the motivation to wake up every day and to train hard for someone like Manon Fior? I don't know.
I don't know either. I do though. I feel like she's just kind of a bit of a machine in that way. Does she need motivation? Like she,
Everybody needs motivation.
I know, I'm saying that obviously somewhat sarcastically. Um, I completely agree with the question. I'm wondering, I'm sitting here wondering out loud if it applies to Valentina Shevchenko because she strikes me as such a regimented individual who has been doing this her entire life. But you're right. Like, at what point you don't do it literally your entire life. At some point, you you reach the crest of the hill and you start to things in your life, motivations start to change.
But that's just it though. That's just clocking in. You know, when you're so regimented, okay, I'm clocking in. I'm gonna do the job because I can do the job.
Mhm.
But that doesn't bode well when you're going up against somebody who's excited to do the
Yeah.
job.
Yeah. What do you think of the actually, you know what? Let me run through the stats first and then we can talk a little bit of tactics and such. All right. We have Valentina Shevchenko, who is 13-3-1 in the UFC with 4 knockouts, 2 submissions, and 7 decisions. And then we have Manon Fiorot, who is 7-0 with 2 knockouts and 5 decisions. 5-5 to Fiorot's 5-7. They The reach for Shevchenko is 66.5 inches, 65, so not much there, not much of a difference. Southpaw for Shevchenko. They have Fiora listed as Orthodox. She fights Southpaw an awful lot, so I think
Yeah, I
that's
thought so too. Yeah.
wrong. Shevchenko 37, Fiora 35, so really not much of an age gap there. Striking accuracy for Shevchenko is 52.7%. Very, very high. Fioro is just 41.5%. Not that that's bad. The UFC average is 42, so she's right at the UFC average, but Valentina Shevchenko's accuracy is very high. Strikes landed per minute, 3.16 for Shevchenko, 6.26 for Fioro. Much higher volume for Fioro. Defense 64.1% for Shevchenko, 68.6% for Fiorot, which is extremely high. UFC average for that is just 58%. Takedown accuracy for Shevchenko, this will, I think, be a very big key, is 64%. I don't believe Fiora is going to try to take her down, but just in case you want to know, it's 42.1%. Defense, takedown defense for Valentina Shevchenko, 71.4%. This is key. Fiora's takedown defense, 93.3% for Manon Fiorot. Someone has attempted to take her down 15 times in the UFC, and she has only been taken down 1 time. I think that's a very interesting point to make here. Uh, you have Shevchenko, who has landed 57 takedowns in her UFC career. Fiorot has landed 8. I think those were the main things that I wanted to point out on those stats when I was looking at them. The thing that is not quantified in that list is the size and physicality of Manon Fiorot. And until you watch her fight and until you see her handle other women who are in her weight class, it's really hard to realize she is an absolute physical beast. Do you think that that physicality is going to be a factor in this fight, or is Valentina Shevchenko too clean for that?
Well, it's more than just her physicality. It's how she uses it with time and space. Is that she runs a lot. I hate to use the term run. Let's
She
be
moves
more
a lot.
let's be more generous. She uses her movement
She's
well.
elusive.
I love it. She's very elusive. So she forces you to chase her. And in the process of chasing her, you tend to get out of position slash off balance and start to make mistakes, which makes it a little easier for her to then use her physicality on you because you're already out of position by the time you get to her. So she uses it very well. And so she's using this elusiveness with long kicks.
Hmm.
So she's still elusive, but she's still touching you with the kicks. So you can't just like let her run. So you're still getting touched on the outside. And then as you try to chase her, you're typically out of position, rushing in, and then she's just throwing you around because you're already out of position and she's bigger and she's strong and and it works for her, and she's very stubborn about that. And she won't just go, you know what? I'm going to change my style and be a little bit easier and give them a chance. No, she's going to continue to do that. And I think that her size really plays into the fact that it works well with her elusiveness.
Hmm. I was really struck by the fact that she is actually a pretty good grappler. Did not have that idea of her in my head until I rewatched some of her fights today. And I found this really fascinating. I haven't decided yet whether she's going to actually do this against Valentina Shevchenko, who clearly has been putting her wrestling more and more and more and more at the forefront of her game, especially as she worked her way through the trilogy with Alexa Grasso. That last fight was very wrestling heavy. It's always been she's always been incredibly well rounded. Like it's really hard to talk about any holes in Valentina Shevchenko's game. But when you look at Manon Fiorot, she took Erin Blanchfield down. She not only that, she picked Erin Blanchfield up and literally just slammed her onto the canvas.
Dude,
She took Jennifer Maya down twice, another good grappler. She took Myra Bueno Silva down twice. Those girls didn't take her down at all. Every time she has faced someone who is considered to be a very good grappler, she is the one initiating the takedowns when the moment comes to her.
right. And
And I
again, that
found that
moment,
fascinating.
right. And that moment typically comes when she's moving, they rush in, she grabs them when they're coming in and just like,
Yeah.
boom. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not necessarily that she's going to play a ton of top game or whatever, but she has fantastic takedown defense. A
Yeah.
lot of girls have tried to take her down over and over and over again. I want to say Erin Blanchfield was like, yeah, she was 0 for 3 on takedowns, and Manon took her down. Rose Namajunas was 0 for 6 on takedowns. She desperately was trying to get Manon Fiorot to the ground and just could not do it. I feel like the most obvious path to victory and the part of Valentina Shevchenko's game that is becoming more and more shiny is the wrestling. But I kind of wonder if she's actually going to be able to use it as effectively as if you didn't look at the tape and see how good Manon Fiorot's grappling is. It'd be easy as an analyst to say, "Oh yeah, she's going to take her down and win," and because it's a well-rounded striker and grappler versus just a pure striker. She's really not just a pure striker.
Well, first, when you talk about, so let's go back to the grappling of Valentina and why she was taking down Alexa
Let's
Grasso. I gotta
yeah.
ask why. Like, why was she taking her down? Why? Is it she no longer wants to be a striker? Which she made her money on earlier? Or is it just like part of her game? Or was it just what she felt was the best path of victory? We don't know that. Part of me believes now, typically when fighters get older, I say you should lean towards more of a grappling heavy style because it's a little less stress on the body. You're not trying to trade punches with somebody.
It's
And I
also
and I
not
typically,
based on reaction timing.
yeah, for
It's
sure. Like
more
your
gross
whole, yeah,
motor
you got, yeah, your
versus fine
senses,
motor.
yeah, you got your sense of touch involved, and you don't have to like be dodging punches. So I actually favor that. I just don't know if it also says a little something about her accepting the fact that she's getting a little bit older, and it's coming down to the end, and she's just trying to hang on a little bit, and that's not, you can't have those doubts and those insecurities in your head when you fight somebody like Manon, because she's hungry and stubborn. Like I said, she's going to be really greedy out there,
Hmm.
and I think it's going to take more than just a wrestling approach from Valentina. I think Valentina has to dog her at times, because what we have seen from Manon, and this is something that we have to also pay attention to, is that because she's so physical, she exerts a lot of energy,
Hmm.
and she tends to get a little tired. And we say, oh, she like when she fought Blanchfield, she didn't get that tired, but she didn't work that much.
Hmm.
And she wasn't really working. No
No,
what
she was
they
just jabbing, jabbing,
Yeah,
jabbing.
she
Yeah.
wasn't working it. She wasn't working. So I think, in addition to a ground attack that Valentina's going to have to use, she's going to have to dog it out a little bit. She's going to have to be a little bit of a dog to force Manon to be a dog. And if she can't do that because like she's come to the fact that she's getting a little bit older and she wants to fight these perfect, smart, strategic fights, it might not work in her favor. I think she's going to have to get a little dirty and force Manon to be a little dirty.
Mhm. One thing I feel like could really be a factor in this fight that I haven't heard anybody else talk about yet. And so, not that I'm wishing this on her, but I see it because I saw it so many times in the tape that I watched today. And when I watch film back to back to back to back, it's like things jump out more because you're watching it so closely in succession. Manon Fiorot has this habit of leaning forward
Hmm.
after after her combinations. And I mean like really far forward. And she's southpaw most of the time, so she's jabbing and then she's dropping her left hand and she's, doing a lot of that. She almost got head kicked in several fights. In fact, I want to say Erin Blanchfield connected with one. It just wasn't hard enough to really do much damage.
And she's not a head kicker.
She's not a head kicker, but Valentina Shevchenko is a head kicker.
Right.
And
Right.
I guarantee Valentina Shevchenko has seen, and it was not hard to find this, when you watch the film. It's a hard habit for people to break when they make a particular way, when they move a particular way after a combination or in reaction to someone else's punch. And she does it all the time. And I just see a potential for a head kick, or I could see her going to the body kick a lot too. She ate, I can't remember what fight it was, but she was eating a lot of body kicks. And it's going to be a little bit different because they're not going to be in the open stance. They're both
Hmm.
soft, they're both southpaws. I don't care why they listed her as an orthodox fighter. She's not. I just watched it. Um, but I can see Valentina switching to orthodox to find the open stance, to find the body kick, and then maybe later find the head kick. Just saying.
I think you might be on, and you might be onto something here, right? And that's one thing I've known about Manon too, is that she's got a lot of holes that she's been able to. Typically, when you have a stubborn style like her and you have that size and physicality and you move a lot, you're elusive like that, and then you force people to rush in and you grab them, throw them down, or you catch them with strikes on the way in. You can cover up a lot of your holes,
Mhm.
and I still think she's got a lot of holes in her game. I still think she's been able to make up for those holes just with her physicality and just
Being an athlete in women's MMA gets you
yes,
really, really,
yes, for sure.
really far. Not that she
So
doesn't
yeah,
have skills, but the gap when you are a superior athlete and you are a physical specimen and you are able to implement that, I will say this till I'm blue in the face. You will close the gap on the more technically proficient female fighter more so than the men do.
and the reason why again, time is an element to this because you have to only do it for 5 minutes. When I used to think about like the Diaz brothers, man, when in their primes, they would have beaten everybody in the world if it was a no time limit fight.
Mhm.
But when you can play the game for 5 minutes and be like, all right, break, play the game, all right, break, play the game, break, fight's over. I won. I played the game better. When you're that, if you're that much more athletically superior to somebody else, you can play the game a little better and stay safe because you can move and run and move and hide and run and move, tap, 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 run, move, hide, run, run. Guess what? The round's over. All right, good. Let's reset. Let's do it again. All right, reset. One more time, reset. Now it's a little bit more challenging now because she has to do it 5 times. Not three, but 5 times. But still, you can still get it done because even in the 5 times, all you got to do is win three of them. So there's still an element. We can never rule out the element of time when we're dealing with athletes that are using their athletic advantages in order to win fights.
Okay, so you've got on one hand a young, hungry, big, physical athlete with good striking capability, good takedown defense. And on the other hand, you've got untouchable experience, untouchable technique, surgical precision. Been there, done that a million times over. I've seen a million people like you. I've fought them all. Um, Fight IQ, excellent wrestling, excellent striking, no holes. How'd
This
it go?
All right, so you named all of the, and again, that's the way fighting is done. Like it's hard to really
I know.
all those
It's
variables
impossible.
matter.
Being an MMA, a handicapper is
It's
like
impossible.
it's
It's impossible.
impossible.
There's too many variables.
Yeah.
But with all those variables, the most important variable that's going to determine the outcome of this fight, with all those variables that you said,
Mhm.
is the determination of Valentina. How determined and what is she willing to do in order to overcome some of those deficiencies, maybe? Because she has all the skills, but when you have that, you have to be determined, like not just punching the clock, I'm checking in for work today, but absolutely determined. If she's absolutely determined, she wins.
Mm.
If she finds herself at the point where if she starts to struggle a little bit and then somewhere in the back of her mind she goes, "You know what? I was already a champ. I'm okay. I'm okay with this. I've already been here before. I already won before. It's all right." She's going to lose the fight. It's that simple. And believe it or not, folks, that happens in fighters' minds. They're
Mhm.
not all these hungry dogs that we think they are. Sometimes they go on fights and they go, "You know what? I'm okay. It's okay. It's not the end of the world if I lose this one. I've already won a world title before." So if she, in a 37, that happens more often than you might think. But if she's not 100% dedicated to winning this fight, I don't see her winning.
Mhm. Did you notice, or did you pick up on the spiciness between these two?
I heard about it, man. I heard about it. I didn't see it, but I would have loved.
Let me read it to you because I
Yeah,
actually
I want to hear. You got some quotes?
well, it's really funny because it's kind of like the most non-English speaking, respectful. You know how women tend to like not get overly personal
Yeah.
when they trash
Mhm.
talk. Like we keep it generally above board. But then you
Yeah.
added a language barrier on top of it, and it's
Oh, this is
pretty
gonna
good.
be this is gold.
Yeah, this is Manon, so I will try to do it in a French accent. Bullet Valentina, stop making people wait. Let's do it soon enough so I can send you to retirement and move on. And then you've got Valentina Shevchenko um, clapping back with, let me do my Russian accent. Hold on.
Oh, here we go. Hey, I got, but before you go, the French was gold.
Thank you, thank you. But now I
Nice.
gotta switch gears. Let me see if I can do this. Um, hello, even is even worse. That's old with zero manners. Zero manners. And then Valentina says, "You lose, you retire. Deal?" Question mark, exclamation, exclamation. Ill-mannered first grader. That was kind of German, sorry. And then Manon retorts with, "Deal. I'll take you seriously when you sign the contract. Damn teacher's pet."
She called her a teacher's pet.
She called her teacher's pet. Valentina called her an ill-mannered first grader.
I want to get the T-shirt.
There's something about Manon having to retire.
Ill-mannered first grader, teacher's
Yes,
pet. Yo,
yes.
yo, what is going on with MMA insults today, man? I thought Patty Pimlet was out of pocket when he called the whole stadium a gang of mushrooms, and now
I'm
Manon
here for
Fiorot called.
this. I
Yeah,
like this. I like this. This is fun. This is fun.
your teacher's pet. Oh, you ill-mannered first grader.
You, you as a teacher's pet. Yes.
Oh man, I'm here for this. I love it.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Well, the spiciness will be settled soon enough. It's going to be a great fight. Did you make a prediction?
I didn't make a prediction. I was
Oh, I'm
hoping you
sorry.
wouldn't
I almost
ask.
let you got the. You don't have to.
You almost let me off the hook.
I did. I almost let you.
So I will make a prediction. Valentina Shevchenko will have one last strong, motivated performance, and she'll win.
Love it.
She'll win. Yeah,
Love it.
she'll expose Manon's holes and deficiencies as a fighter.
I love it. That's why we bring you on, Dean, so you can say that you can just put it like it is, and I don't have to do anything but ride the fence.
Yeah, ride the fence, and I'm
Idiot.
over here. I'm over here. Yeah, I'm over here getting
Come off
dragged in the
it.
mud. I'm over here. Mike Bond got me dragged in the mud.
Dean, we appreciate you very, very much. And we appreciate you, our fans. We would love to hear from you, okay? We would love to see your faces. Please Send us a video, 30 seconds, whatever you want. One-on-one combatsports at gmail.com. We love hearing from you, learning your names, seeing your faces. It can be a question, it can be thoughts. You can just say shitty things about Dean and I if you want to. I mean, it would be mean, but we would still put it on the video. Yeah, just send it to us, one-on-one combat sports at gmail.com, and we will include you in the video for UFC 316. So you can make it UFC 316 centric, or you can just say whatever you want. Either way, we appreciate you guys being here. And Dean, we appreciate you all the time bringing the heat. Thank you. From some unknown location next time. Where are you going to be next time?
Oh wow, next Monday. I don't even know.
No, next month. Next
Oh,
month.
next month. Oh well, thinking next Monday. Next month. I have no idea. Honestly, I have no idea where I'm going to be
Are
in a month from
you
now.
currently unhoused at
I'm
the
homeless, yes. I live wherever the UFC puts me or wherever city I feel like going to at the time.
houseless but not homeless?
Houseless but not homeless. Home is where
Well,
the
I said
heart is.
homeless.
Oh, holeless. Oh, yo, you already know. Nah, I'm if there's one thing in this world I am, holeless. 100%. Oh man, I got no hoes.
But you got all the area codes, and that's what matters.
That's all that
That's
matters.
all that matters. Dean, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Guys, keep it locked in right here. We've got plenty of other videos for you guys to check out on the channel. Click like, click subscribe. It helps us out so much, and we'll see you next time.